Discourse 7. Gentlemen who have made yourselves my Minutemen of America, I give you my love and blessings. And as your brother of light, Mr. Gallagher, said to you, could you understand, and you will come to, what your obedience to your life means, and how myself and others of the ascended masters can make you whatever you will decree yourselves to be? Gentlemen, you are not human beings when you will give your honest, earnest, sincere attention to the presence of life, the mighty I Am. You then have invited the greatest purity, perfection, and power in the universe to act through your human form. Before I continue, I want to say a few things that are necessary. This is not in criticism of anyone, but that you might understand the law. Gentlemen, in honor of the presence and light you represent, be very careful when you put your arms around the ladies when you meet them. You set an example. You give cause for criticism and condemnation. Be honorable, dignified in your association with those great ones of light, the feminine activity of life, and give them honor and respect everywhere. Gentlemen, the eyes of the world are upon you. Now, believe me when I say this in all kindness, but as you represent the light and the ascended masters, you must govern these things if you wish the light to take its dominion more quickly. Now, those who are opposing this light are constantly projecting at you thoughts of sex desire, disobedience, and all that kind of thing to cause discredit upon the light. You must understand and realize you are strong enough to resist those suggestions in order to carry honorably the light everywhere. You are strong enough. I have faith in you. It does not make any difference what your mistakes are. I am not concerned. Neither are you. But turn to the light and be dignified in all your activities, honest and sincere, that all your fellow men will open the gates of light to you. I assure you, do not expect, when I say these words, some miracle to be performed in a few hours. But I say to you with your earnest obedience to the light and your purity of thought and feeling, when you waste your sex energy, you are depriving yourselves of everything you need for your victory and success in the outer world. Mankind has not understood these things. I speak frankly to you today because you are honest, fine, and sincere, and I want you to know these things. You need that energy in your body. That is your life you are wasting. You waste it through anger, jealousy, hatred, and all those kinds of things. But the greatest is the waste through the sex energy, and all the destructive forces of mankind are focused upon mankind today for that one thing. To get them to waste their energy so they cannot hold to their presence and power of life and have freedom. This is absolutely imperative. And you, as Minutemen, who have more than the average understanding and in representing this work, I say this to you for your own protection and your own blessing. I shall not say what you shall do. That would be out of place. But I present to you the law, which you do not possibly understand even yet. 80% of you are free, absolutely free from sex desire. But the suggestions of the environment, of your outer associations in the world, you must be strong against those suggestions in order to hold your balance in the light and prevent those things intruding into your feeling world. If you will do this, I can give you assistance beyond your fondest imagination. You see, beloved ones, how quickly I raised the messengers into this magnificent position today, and I can do it with every earnest, honest, honorable student in America and the world. I am not limited. I can project 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 light rays to the beloved students and hold them within that radiance until their victory is sure. But I must have obedience to your life, not to me, but to life. You see? And as you have purity and honor within you, then I can raise you to and give you any position in life that you will hold steadfast in your attention. I have been able to do this for many centuries, and since my ascension, of course, infinitely more powerfully. But realize, gentlemen, when I make a request, it is because I see within you so great a light that can bring you so quickly into perfect happiness and success, to complete achievement on whatever you may fix your attention, because of course you would not fix your attention upon anything that was not constructive. Therefore I say to you today, in all the powers of light, stand with your presence in its purity and perfection, and any undesirable desire that has been generated within you, call your presence of life, myself, or some of the other ascended masters if you wish, to give you assistance. Be sure that when you make that call, don't be disturbed if the old habits recur once in a while, but in the great, calm serenity say, "Oh, very well. You have no power, so you might just as well let go." In that calm serenity, you will free yourself from any undesirable desire that might have been generated in the past, thinking it was quite all right. It is not. Gentlemen, please, in coming into this light and changing your motives of life, please do not condemn yourself for anything that has been in the past. Please do not do it, because you keep that constantly revolving and building for you. Put it, every action of it, into the violet consuming flame, and let it be gone forever, whatever has been in the past. Therefore all mankind have made their mistakes, but we do not condemn them. We are not concerned with that. We only want to forget them, that is all. Then we can give them limitless assistance. That is why in giving this opportunity today, because your hearts are so fine and the light is expanding within you so wonderfully that anything is possible to be done for you. I assure you of that, but be patient. It is not impossible that some magnificent thing might be done immediately for you, but if it is not, go serenely on until your life stream wishes to release to you that perfection. Even if a so-called miracle occurs, it is quite all right, but leave that to the wisdom of the presence. So many times, and only last night, I came so near to standing forth visible to you. That day will come. Do not be concerned about it. It will come, and then you will all be satisfied forever that we are real. Even though, as I stand here before you today, you don't see me, yet I am as tangible, more so than you are yourselves. But mankind is so caught up in the human beliefs that a thing which is not visible to you is not tangible. Yet you see before you the example that the invisible things are tangible right along. I know of no greater thing than your airplane propeller and your fan to give you that illustration, because it is a visible thing, and by stepping up its speed of action, it becomes invisible. You see, all visible and invisible activity is a rate of vibratory action, and I could take almost any one of you and stand you here in a few minutes, not more than 10 minutes, make you invisible to the rest of the audience by the raising of your vibratory action, which could not harm you. You might be a little short of breath for a time, but this is what we are able to do, and as the students are prepared for it, some of these things will be done to give you the full assurance of the truth that we have presented through the beloved messengers. All these things are true and real, but mankind, if they allow the intellect to get revolving or listening to individuals who cannot comprehend it yet, well, then it disturbs them and causes them momentarily to think, are these things possible or not? They are not unusual, only the human intellect gets to revolving too fast. When you stop to think and when you realize from your heart knows the truth of this, and if it is allowed to act, it will give you the full feeling of it. But we have to be patient, even we, ourselves, until you get the full conviction, the full glory of that in your feeling world. Then you become satisfied and you become anchored, and no feeling, thought, or suggestion, or anything else can make you fear or be doubtful about these great laws. As long as mankind listen to the foolishness of human concepts, then they will be distressed and disturbed. But I say to you, if you will stand in your presence, the light of your presence, and refuse to accept or listen to foolish human gossip that says these things are not true, then you will more easily stand in the light and prove to yourself these great laws and the expansion of the light. These great decrees of the many in America are doing a thing indescribable. I have to keep you gentlemen waiting a little longer, but I feel it is only right to reveal to you what I shall this afternoon, because it concerns tremendously the feminine activity of life. When you hear what I have to reveal to you this afternoon, you will see how all through life the feminine activity, which is the feeling world of the earth, is more powerful activity. Then you will understand why today the feminine activity must take its balance with the masculine in all life's activity. And when you hear this, you will understand why it is so. Now then, gentlemen, that is why the greatest honor between the masculine and feminine is necessary today to bring about this mighty balance with a speed that is incredible to you at this time, because this light is not only compelling, but is impelling it forth with great speed. Gentlemen, you do not realize, as we do from the higher standpoint, that this light, the cosmic light that is being released, is a mighty impelling force. And that is why I say to you, please do not be distressed or dismayed if you are not having the full control of yourselves that you might wish just yet. Just stand firm. And then don't be distressed about a condition that you have not entirely rid yourself of yet. But just keep on calling calmly and serenely, and it will disappear. It has to. But if you get disturbed about a thing, then you bind it to you more and more, because your feeling is acting in accepting that that thing is there and still has power. Gentlemen, notice the difference between dismissing a thing with the intellect and in the feeling. It is easy enough to dismiss a thing in the intellect, but your feeling does not always respond to that, nor does it follow. Therefore, it is imperative to watch that your feelings follow your intellect in your decrees, or whatever it is you wish to rid yourself of. When your feeling follows, then you will soon be free from the conditions that you want to be free from. Gentlemen, do not accept it as being there or having power to act in your physical body, when it has no power, because you can withdraw, like that, power from any habit in your physical body and make it dissolve and disappear, if you realize it. Why does a thing have power within you? A habit, for instance. Because you have fed your life into that by your attention. Take your attention off it and keep it off, and the thing will disappear by its own volition, because there is no connection longer with it. Gentlemen, you cannot have a thing about you unless your life has gone into it to feed it, and that means undesirable or desirable. The energy acts whichever way it is, but you, as the decreer of your world, can compel that energy to act by the power of your attention, holy, constructive, pure, and perfect. You cannot have any difficulty in releasing yourself from any undesirable activity because, taking your attention off of it, it has to dissolve and disappear. Now this is what you might say to me. Oh, I have tried and tried so hard and so long. Yes, that is true, but your feeling has not. Your feeling has been continually accepting that although you were not outwardly conscious of it, and that is what seemingly makes the thing hold on. Say to the present, take my attention off of that and out of it. Then when it comes up to your thought again, say, oh no, you have no power. You might as well just stop and get out. Oh, be just sort of indifferent. Don't let it make you feel it has power. You are the power in that thing. And every time that the thought reoccurs, say, oh, now run along. Turn your attention to the present and go on about your business. Say, get out. You once ruled in my world, but you don't do it anymore. But if you take a distressed feeling in trying to get rid of that thing, you don't get rid of it because that distress holds it. That is why, in endeavoring to try to explain to you, in your trying to feel those things today, I will give you every assistance possible when I see you are honest and sincere in your desire for light and freedom. You may be sure every ascended master and power of light will come to your assistance. Don't let yourself question about that. When you call to your presence and call to us, be sure we will give your every slightest effort the assistance. As you fully realize that, you will not have the slightest difficulty in freeing yourself from any condition, no matter what it is. But do not let yourself be disturbed about it. Today, in your activity of the outer world, gentlemen, with all the power of your mighty I Am presence, send forth these decrees. And gentlemen, do not go too fast. I mean just fast enough to give your diction clearly and perfectly. Don't drag it, but don't go so fast that you cannot give your diction clearly. Then you will get the greatest power. It is just beyond the balance of the slow into the too rapid. You see? But you will catch the natural, right balance of that, and it is powerful. Your decrees today were marvelous. Therefore, you can keep calling for divine justice and divine order in your government, in all official places, and I think it is very well to keep yourselves reminded of that decree, as your beloved Lotus has so often said, hold every official obedient to their oath of office. That will cause to go into the mental and feeling world the power of light, to make them feel the need of honor to their oath of office, which will help and hold things steadier until the full power of light takes its action. Now, this is not interfering with any human being's free will, but it is calling forth the right order and justice, which is the right of every human being on earth. In your call to the presence, remember, dear ones, that your presence is the authority of all life, and there is no authority in the universe. Human beings are not authority. Of course, in having forgotten the presence, there had to be certain requirements in the outer world to hold mankind in balance. But after all, the full authority in the universe is your own mighty I Am presence. As you call for divine order and divine justice to be established in the government and all official places, in your industries, as you call for balance between capital and labor, divine justice there, then you will have set into action the mightiest law in the universe to bring these things about. The call to dissolve the communistic activity and all the fascist and Nazi activities in Europe are just claws of communistic activity. All those things will disappear from the earth if the call from you in America is sent forth into the mental and feeling world, because the desire in mankind that the sinister activity of mankind has projected there will disappear. Naturally, that destructive force wants to hold its power, but it cannot do it in the face of light you call forth, because the light dissolves everything, and there is no battle about it. That is what you want to feel in your individual world. As you call forth the light into your feeling world, it just dissolves any undesirable thing that is there, and there is no struggle, gentlemen. If you find a struggle, it is because you are humanly trying to do it, no doubt. But if you will call the presence into action and let the light of the presence flood your feeling world to expand the light in your body, it will not be difficult to free yourself from anything that is undesirable. Yet, in the expansion of that light will come the confidence and dominion in your world through a natural process. There is not anything unnatural about this. It is the law of your life, everyone's life. And that is why this work is so practical. If we had not gone through all the experiences you have, sometimes much worse, then you could say to us, possibly we did not understand. But I say to you, we understand perfectly every feeling that passes through mankind, because we have all experienced it. We all know what it means. And if you were to see us in our present state of perfection, you would marvel how we could have once gone through similar experiences to what you are going through. But such is the case. Every human being has lived in physical bodies and has gone through similar experience to your own. Therefore, we understand just exactly your position, just exactly your requirements, and we never have a thought or feeling of criticism or condemnation because of mankind's mistakes. It is just a thing that has been done, and ere long will cease to be. Therefore, have courage and strength in all that stands before you, and know the human creation has no power. The appearance of limitations or lack of anything has no power unless you feed your life into it through your attention to give it power. Don't you see? and know that limitations cannot be sustained unless your life is feeding into them through your attention? Now you can take your attention off. Suppose one thing in your life, your attention kept reverting back and back, and finally you would say, "Oh, shucks, why doesn't this go?" I have been doing this now for a long time. Do you know that 10 minutes more effort might give you the victory? You see, you cannot judge from the outer standpoint, but as long as you refuse, even through the recurrence of the thought and feeling continues, just say, "Oh, no, you don't. You have no power." Take that indifferent attitude. Don't be concerned. Then you will be free so much more quickly. Today, as I am talking to you, I am giving you tremendous assistance, for there have been many calls to the messengers, and I am determined today to give you that assistance and cut you free from these things you don't want. So if you will accept that, and if the thought or feeling recurs, say, "Oh, no, you don't," and go on about your business, and you will find, just like the mist before the morning sun, all those things will dissolve, and you begin to feel that freedom within you, that buoyancy, strength, and courage. Gentlemen, no one greater thing has been given to mankind than what the beloved Nada gave to messengers. When you feel disturbing conditions, sex desires, and all that kind of thing, which in most cases is projected at you, draw in your diaphragm like that. Raise your diaphragm, and it is like you close the door of your solar plexus. You actually do in that process, and you will find you shut out these feelings in the most amazing manner, because everything that is undesirable has to enter your body through this doorway, the solar plexus. You think you receive it in the intellect. You don't. All things enter through your feeling and have to come in here. It is a tremendous thing, and therefore we give you the assistance to your outer victory and will make things more easily accomplished. In the need of America today, as you call forth divine justice, you will be surprised with the intensity with which you are able to release those decrees. How great will be the power and speed with which it acts through the mental and feeling world. Remember, the distance from here to New York in your feeling world does not exist. That vibratory action sent forth in the feeling world goes with great power and speed in the intensity of your decrees that send it forth. Therefore, don't let human sense of it enter in when you are issuing these decrees in the mental and feeling world, because who can judge outwardly how far-reaching, how great the speed with which they go forth? Therefore, in rendering this service today, you have limitless power and energy, and in the mental and feeling world, even with yourself, there is no time nor space. I want you to feel that today, because you must feel the power and speed of action. Thought has no time nor space, you know. You can think of New York or London instantly. Well, is there any time or space there? Well, then the feeling world acts even more instantaneously than the thought, because it acts before the thought has a chance. Therefore, you see how there is no time nor space to the feeling world. Therefore, when you issue these decrees, suppose you are issuing them for the governmental officials. Don't you see how the decrees would go through the speed and power of lightning into the feeling world of those individuals to act there, to give them the assistance, give them the right desire, and give them the strength to stand against injustice? Then they would change because they wanted to. They would not change because someone argued or asked them to. When mankind has the desire from within, then that feeling becomes permanent. When a person has a desire from within themselves, whether the light has placed it there or it is from some other suggestion, still does the power of light act in the feeling world of the individual, because the feeling world of the light pattern of the individual and the higher mental body is established in every form and acts in divine order and divine justice. Now you take, for instance, this unfortunate creature in your city that has opposed this light and started such falsehoods. His higher mental body wants him to do right, just the same as you. Therefore, it shows that energy was projected to him from a black magician activity, or he could not have had energy to exist this long. The higher mental body will not furnish energy any longer for a destructive purpose. Therefore, when some individuals think in this understanding they can call the power of the presence to do destructive things, they are just fooling themselves because they cannot do it. The higher mental body will not release energy for any destructive purpose. They do not understand that. They think they can use the law against the messengers, and it turns back upon themselves. But the truth of life is that mankind's feeling world, by their power of qualification, creates whatever quality is there, and it acts upon them. Therefore, those who yield to destructive impulses are most unfortunate indeed, because they are building and creative destructive activities that will one day sweep them out. Now that is why, gentlemen, I say to you in your service to the light, do not let destructive things get your attention and hold it. Do not let your attention rest upon each other by the mistakes that seem to be apparent there. If they seem to be, call the presence into action. Take your human mind off and leave the rest to the presence. Then you will hold such harmony among yourselves. You, as Minutemen, please do not let one word of criticism go out to any one of your group, even though there seems to be a mistake. Either call the presence into action silently, or slap him on the back and say, "God bless you and give you the power and courage of full dominion." That is the only way to restore dominion to mankind. Therefore, I realize with such a joy. You talk about thrills. I am getting one myself today and seeing the response from within your feeling world. I see it positively more clearly than you feel it. But nevertheless, to see that response within you is magnificent beyond words, and I give you that encouragement and strength because it is right you should have it. Go on, gentlemen, in the power of light in all its magnificence, and let the fullness of that glory, which is your mighty I Am presence, take its dominion in you and your world, and see how quickly all things will come into divine order and divine justice for you. Do not accept the appearance world as having power to distress or limit you any longer, but to everything that confronts you of limitation, simply still yourself and say, "Hold on now. I know you have no power. Mighty I Am presence, take command here. Project your mighty light rays into this. Dissolve and consume it. Bring divine order out of this and give me the intelligence to do the right thing, whatever is necessary." In that way, you will take away from your physical body the strain and anxiety that does not allow the presence to act, because the feeling world must be calm in order to quickly have the answer required. As you do this, gentlemen, you will find you do not have difficulty in handling the conditions that confront you. But don't give anything power except your presence. First, to everything that appears before you of human creation, tell it has no power. Then call the presence into action. Then stand steady in the face of anything until the power of the presence floods forth to govern it, and you will find the power of the presence that floods forth will not fail in a single instance. I must close, gentlemen. I thank you with all my heart for your love, your devotion to the light and to me, and with your harmonious cooperation, one day you will know what great friends we are. It is wonderful, gentlemen, to find in this day of the world the response that I have had through the messengers, and it is gratifying. It is the Savior of the world. I want you to know, with your continuous mighty decrees and the mighty activity that has gone forth, I want you to know this afternoon what has been accomplished. Then your courage will leap into the fullness of its power and strength and go on until every victory in America is won. I thank you.